Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Chameleon Twist. This was an early N64 game done by Sunsoft. Now the story is a chameleon called Davy, because of course chameleons have names, and of course one's called Davy, the most chameleon-esque name ever. But whatever. He basically follows a rabbit into a new world. It's basically Alice in Wonderland, and now he can walk on two legs after being transformed, and a tongue that is so long that every man and lesbian just feels jealous. The tongue is your main mechanic. You can use it to eat and then spit out your enemies, like Yoshi style, or you can use it to grab platforms, essentially helping you traverse the world. You could spin it around to reach other areas, or use it to jump up. But you really do have to master your tongue action. I can make this rude if I want, but I won't. But if you're not able to get that tongue action sorted, you're not getting anywhere in this game. Or with women. Moving on. But you do need to master it. It's one of those things. It's a decent little platformer, but it unfortunately is not outshine the big boys in Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. Hence why I put it in this list. Hey you, Pikachu. Look, it's just for the idea. This is simply the idea. No, you can call me and say this wasn't a good game. I thought this was quite revolutionary for the time, because one of two Nintendo games that tried to use a microphone because they thought that was a good idea. You spent a bucket load of money for this microphone, which you could barely use. Now, Pikachu himself can only understand a few things, but you can interact with Pikachu around Viridian Forest and some made-up worlds they put in for this, and he can only do, like, simple random tasks. Like, this isn't setting the world on fire. I know this. Alright, the game's adorable, it looks great for its time for the Pokemon spin-offs. The thing is, it's the possibilities. This is like pre-Chat GPT. Like, imagine what you could be asking Pikachu. Like, Pikachu, can you sort out my life? It could be your personal therapist. Pikachu, show me nudes. Pikachu, can you predict the next American election? I would have so much fun just watching this confused little yellow ball of fluff, trying to understand what the hell is going on in my life while I'm trying to use it as a therapy tool. Let's be honest, if people use ChatGPT as a therapy tool, why can't we use a Pikachu on an N64 to do that as well? Snowboard Kids. Now I know what you're going to be saying. What the hell? Why is Snowboard Kids on an overlooked list? Well, very easy. Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing. They're the two which often get put ahead of it, well they always do, and Snowboard Kids just gets forgotten about. You all know it's true. If you're going to give me the best races, Snowboard Kids does not come in that top two. It's Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart 64. But I love Snowboard Kids. I played this a lot as a kid and have a lot of memories, especially just going on the board selection, just going all around. Alpine! Absolutely loved it. Unlike Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing, the idea elapses that you go down the slope trying to get from the top to the bottom. But when you reach the bottom, you've got to get on a ski lift, and that essentially takes you back to the top, and that's how you start the next lap. But the ski lift is one of the best bits of the game, because you could be in first, but if you don't get your ski lift entry right, basically enter this little bar where you enter the ski lift, you're screwed. If you miss it and then someone else gets in, well then you've got to wait for the animation before you could jump in. But that means someone else could get in. So then someone else could get in. So you can go from first all the way to fourth, and the first place has got a huge head start before you try and get back. Yes, there are weapons, as similar to Diddy Kong and Mario Kart 64, where you can essentially get back, but still, it's an absolute ball ache. But it's also a load of fun when your friends are basically killing you and getting really pissed off because you were first and now you're at the back of the pack, and it's absolutely superb. Don't use the ninja though. He's broken and it's cheating. You can also put Snowboard Kids 2 on this list, that I don't have a lot of experience of it, because I don't think it ever came out in the UK. I don't think it did. Someone will correct me if it's wrong. Gex, Enter the Gecko. Well, it kind of makes sense. It's a movie-esque parody. I never realised this for many years why it was called Gex Enter the Gecko, but essentially it's Enter the Dragon. Very clever. This is the second game in the series, and I've got to be honest, whilst you might get some enjoyment out of it, it doesn't stand up as much as you think. It's still good fun, it just looks a bit clunky and the camera absolutely sucks, but let's bear in mind this was the N64. But the reason why I like it, it's still pretty fun in what it tries to do. Gek basically bounces, tail whips his way to get batteries for the almighty remote to Rez's lair. The idea of getting battery remotes, I know we've got like stars, jiggies, I don't know, eggs. Here we're after batteries. Fine, why not? Now, Gex basically mocks a lot of TV shows. The fact he's dressed up as James Bond, there's also a Bugs Bunny section, there's even a Titanic section, and as I said, Enter the Dragon because he's fighting ninjas for God's sake. I like video games that poke fun at different genres such as movies and TVs, and knows exactly what it is. Whilst it may not look like the best game in the series, it's still good fun to play and should still be given a look. It's just a shame we didn't get many Gex games going forward, and he's kind of been forgotten, the poor little creature. Glover. The idea itself just seems a little bit insane. I don't know, I suppose when you have backstories, what does it really matter? There's an accident where a wizard's making a potion and he falls over and his gloves fall in. And because they fall into the potion, one of them becomes Glover, our protagonist, and the other becomes the evil cross-stitch, because of course when you put two gloves in, one has to come out evil or one has to come out a good guy. Makes no sense, but who gives a shit? Glover is our four-finger protagonist, and his job is to try and get the magic balls. Now, essentially, they're not magic balls, they are magic crystals, but Glover has turned them into balls so he can move them around. I'm going to keep saying balls quite a lot. There are many different balls for Glover to play with. You've got the ball that looks like it comes straight out of Toy Story, a bowling ball, and even little metal balls, and there are even more of them. Now, if the ball breaks, that's essentially a life lost, because it's Glover's job to get it from A to B, and he can control them in different ways. And I like this. The physics are really good for how he can bounce the ball, well, depending on what type of ball it is, can move it around, and it just look really cool. It steals a lot from Mario 64 when you look at the aesthetic and how it's all done, but who gives a rat's ass? It's good fun, and I get to practice with my ball. A lot. Make of that what you will. WCW vs NWO World Tour. Yes, I know there is revenge for what anyone shouts at me, but this is one of the first wrestling games on the N64, and one of those 3D ones which you might have forgotten to time. It's actually one of my childhood games. Well, I say childhood, I didn't have that much experience with it. What it was, my cousin had it. He used to bring games from America, because his dad was a pilot, and he brought it over and we got to play them. Now, I knew WWF, but didn't know a lot about WCW and NWO. And I was like, oh, there's Hulk Hogan on the front. Oh, hang on, now I know that's the Big Show. I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I was just like, oh, it's an angry man. But now I know it's the Big Show. The roster itself was pretty decent for the time. Again, going back to it, I had no idea who anyone was, apart from Hulk Hogan. And now I just go for Chris Benoit, because he's my boy. Now, I have no idea how to play this at the time. I was just mashing buttons. And, well, now I can play it. But essentially at the time, it looked really great. The gameplay still hands out, and it still plays well. You should still give this a go, because wrestling games, if they get the core system right, are fantastic. The soundtrack is absolutely dreadful. It is horrific. It's like something out of an 80s American cartoon. I don't even know why they decided to do this. I suppose they couldn't get the licensed tracks from their ring entrances. And there's a 4-player mode, so 4 of you can go at it at once, although it does suffer a bit of frame rate difficulties. And I made this very clear as well, you can't go for Benoit anymore. I know, I was joking before anyone comes at me at the comments. I did used to love Chris Benoit. He was my favourite wrestler for so many years, until obviously that event happened, and that was it, unfortunately. Whilst I respect him as a wrestler, I can't as a person. So, if anyone was thinking, oh my god, Benoit, can't anymore. Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. Now, I'll be brutally honest, I have poo-pooed this before, but I poo-pooed the original Castlevania 64. I think I did. Someone's going to go back on the videos and go, no, actually, you said this. But I have to say, it's a Castlevania game. And Konami were trying to bring Castlevania into the 3D world on this console, whilst doing the old 2D style with the Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation. Now, the reason why people say you shouldn't really poo-poo the second game, Legacy of Darkness, which came out pretty much quite a few months after, was because the first Castlevania 64, the first one, was essentially not finished, and there was a lot of jank to it. And that's the problem. So when they released the second game, it kind of it kind of fixed a lot of the problems, and gave you 2 more characters to play with. The graphics aren't amazing, I'll put my hand up for that, but it was early 64, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it, at least they were trying. But it's still quite fun if you like your Castlevania games. Again, it's part of the Castlevania lore. Actually, is it? Did it get declassified? Because some of the Castlevania games actually aren't part of that lore. Again, someone come at me in the comments. But this game has skeletons on motorcycles. Yeah. Didn't think I'd ever live to see that one, but why not? And I should also say, some of the music in this game is awesome, especially the one with the violin, which I'm playing right now. I absolutely love that song, and it's one of my best Castlevania songs to date. And there you have it, some overlooked N64 games. What do you think? Do you like this list, or the ones I need to talk about? Let me know in the comments below, and please hit that like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you all again in a few days for another video. My name's been Danny, you all take care of yourself, follow your dreams.